speak fast in storytelling. GF24F repeatedly made comments about my M28M height and size, then spent a month walking it back. She wants to continue the relationship. How do I handle this? Is it possible to recover a relationship after your partner spends an entire month repeatedly undermining your confidence? I am a 28-year-old man who was married for 6 years before getting divorced a year ago, with no children. After taking some time off from the dating scene, I met a woman 4 years younger than me 3 months ago. At first, I was really into her. She seemed to match my type and personality perfectly. For context, my style with women has always been that of an old-school gentleman. I open doors, take things slow, and I'm a bit chivalrous. She was pleasantly surprised at first, noting that she didn't expect that from a guy my age. Then, the drama cascade started. Around our 5th or 6th date, I planned a double date to introduce her to my best friend and his wife. Everything was near perfect until that day. On the way there, she suddenly got upset that her heels made her taller than me. For context, I am 178 centimeters, and she is 160 centimeters. No heel closes that gap, and even if it did, so what? My ex-wife was exactly my height, and it was never an issue in 6 years. I tried to diffuse it with humor, but she kept making it a serious point. It honestly felt like she wanted to emasculate me. That same evening at dinner, my friend's wife joked that my friend and I are so close we are probably a secret gay couple. My girlfriend turned to my friend and said, if you were a gay couple, you would be the top and he would be the bottom. When my friend asked why, she said, you are more masculine and manly. There was an awkward silence, and they left soon after. When I got upset, she explained that by gay standards, I have a more aesthetic and refined look while my friend looks more rugged. A few days later, she circled back to the height topic, saying, you know you are not very tall, right? I asked why we were talking about this, noting that if something bothers you, you should just walk away. She replied, no, your height is tolerable for me. I would not be embarrassed to be seen with you anywhere. I told her that is not a compliment. 37-degree heat is tolerable, not a person's physical proportions. She apologized, claiming she has a poor vocabulary and was just stating a fact. My take is that you do not state facts about things that do not matter to you. A few days later, we had sex for the first time. I was exhausted and hadn't slept, so I jokingly warned her in advance that this would not be my best performance. The intimacy was fine. Afterward, she asked, you are healthy, right? You don't smoke or drink? I said, correct. She then said, my ex was a bad influence. He smoked, drank, and did substances, but he could stay hard for an hour. I laughed it off and told her to call him then and have him come finish. I had no idea she'd spent 3 hours at his apartment earlier that day when she claimed to be running errands. She apologized, saying she was just stating a fact and didn't mean to hurt me. I let it slide. A few days later, after we'd experienced successful intimacy, we were watching a show where a character had a comically exaggerated anatomy. We both joked about it. Then she said, length isn't what matters. Girth is. I am slightly above average, around 14 to 15 centimeters in length and 13.5 in girth, so I am not small. We were cuddling and I playfully asked if she liked mine. She replied, it's acceptable, but I've seen better. I took it as teasing at first, and a couple of minutes later I playfully threatened her, saying, oh, so you've seen better? Let me show you better right now. She suddenly became serious and said, well, yeah, I've seen much bigger. She immediately realized what she said and pivoted to saying bigger doesn't mean better. I lost all desire and stopped. She snapped at me, asking why I was acting like an insecure man and if I needed to be the best at everything. I emotionally distanced myself. A couple of days later, she told me, yours is completely sufficient for me. I asked her honestly if she had ever wished it was bigger. She said, no, but who wouldn't want that? Anyone who says otherwise is lying. That told me everything I needed to know. Then came the month-long campaign. In week 1, she said, I can't believe how insecure you've become over this. In week 2, she claimed, you should see a therapist. Ignoring me for a week over this is not a normal reaction. In week 3, she backpedaled and apologized, saying, I said something stupid, but it shouldn't have hurt you. You can't be the best at everything. You have other qualities. I told her that I shouldn't have to stay in a relationship knowing she felt something was missing and expecting me to compensate with money, status, and good treatment. In week 4, her story shifted, saying, what do you think the difference even is between you and him? 1 to 2 centimeters max and you're making a drama out of this? So in 4 weeks, the difference shrunk from much bigger to just 1 or 2 centimeters. 2 days ago, we had our final conversation. She said, you're the best man for me. Drop these bad thoughts. If that was all that mattered, every woman would be happy. I told her she wouldn't have said any of it if it didn't matter. You never once commented on my shoe size being 43 instead of 46 because you don't care about that. She then asked, if you could design me as a character, wouldn't you change anything about me? I said, sure, maybe round out a toenail. She responded, See, that's what I mean. If I were designing you, I'd just add 3 to 4 centimeters to your size. I kicked her out of my apartment at 3 a.m. Now she is in full drama mode, insisting she fell in love with me and that she only said those things because she was upset, claiming she has never been with a good man before and doesn't know how to adjust to it. She says she doesn't want to lose the relationship, but I need advice on how to handle this.